What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Inside the LPGA podcast. Major season is over. I am so sad to be saying that, but what a great season it was. I mean, we had 5 different winners, and we still have not had a repeat winner this entire season, which I think just really touches on the depth of the LPGA right now. And we had a week off after our last major, which was the AIG Women's Open. And so now that that week off is over, it is officially time for the Standard Portland Classic. And this week, we are going to see some familiar faces. We're going to see Natalie Golbis, Christina Kim, and none other than the legend Juli Inkster. Julie's actually our guest on this week's podcast episode. If you clicked on this, you probably already know that. She's an icon in so many different ways. She's won 31 times on tour. She's a 7-time major champion. She's competed in 9 Solheim Cups, and she is an LPGA and World Golf Hall of Famer. So I'm super, super excited to have her on the podcast. But quickly before we get into that, I just want to give a little preview of the Standard Portland Classic, which is not much, but just a reminder that Moria Jutanugarn won last year, so she is the defending champion. And I always think it's super interesting a week like this, coming off of all of the majors, everyone finally kind of gets to take like a sigh of relief, a deep breath, like, okay, now we can get back into the season and see what happens. So like I said, Moria Jutanugarn is defending, and yeah, it's going to be a great week. We've had this tournament for quite a while, and players absolutely love it. And I think it's really cool that we get to see players like Julie, Natalie, Christina Kim tee it up this week and just see what happens, because these are the weeks that you truly never know what might happen. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Juli Inkster into the Inside the LPGA podcast. Out here on the LPGA, we move with intention and rest with ease. And we do that thanks to the Dream Glow collection from Rhone. And we've said it once, we'll say it a million times. It is the perfect outfit if you want to, whether you want to chill at the house or maybe you're going on an airplane, it's a movie night, you're going to the movies. I wore mine to the movie theaters the other day, and it was so comfy. You know how it gets like cold in the theater sometimes? This was like the perfect thing to wear. So definitely go get yourself some Dream Glow collection, whether it's for you or maybe it's for your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, your aunt, your mom, whoever it may be. 10 out of 10 recommend. And we even have a little surprise for you guys. We have a discount code. It is 20% off, and it's LPGA Pod 20. And you're going to want to use that at checkout, LPGA Pod 20 at Rhone.com. All right, everybody, welcome LPGA legend, Hall of Famer, 7-time major champion, Solheim Cup, a legend once again, Juli Inkster, into the Inside the LPGA podcast. Julie, thank you for joining me. You're teeing it up this week. You're golfing. I cannot wait to watch. I mean, how exciting is it to have that buzz again, to have that, LPGA tournament buzz and know that you're going to be teeing it up on Thursday?
It's a little intimidating. I'm not going to lie to you, but I had to be up here anyway for my Inkster Award, and the next week's the USGA Seniors, and I just thought it would do me well to try to get some reps in before the tournament, because I always seem to go in there not prepared, and so this gives me a little preparation. But so I signed up, and then as it got closer, I'm like, what am I doing? But you know what? I'm going to put myself out there. I think it's good for the LPGA, and it'd be great to play with the young ones and get my ass kicked, get my butt kicked. So it's all good.
You can say whatever you want. Don't you worry.
Okay.
That's so funny. I know. I mean, it just seems like, so I've been at the LPGA for 5 years, and every year there's just like younger kids coming through. I mean, how crazy is it to be out there and see that, all of those fresh faces, and also just like how incredible is it? The LPGA has grown so much.
Yeah, and it's amazing that this game at my age, I can still go out and play. Maybe not compete, to the highest level, but I can still go out and play. I don't know that, but it's great that the 13 founders grew the game, and then I had the generations before me grow it, and then myself and my crew, and then Webby and her crew, and it's just we just got to keep these generations playing it forward. I know these girls are playing for a lot of money right now, and but it's just not about the money all the time. It's really about growing the game and meeting the sponsors and with the fans and
Yeah.
thanking the volunteers. It's sometimes golf is a me game, but we at the LPGA, it still has to be a team thing, and we need to work as a team to keep growing the game.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of actually touched on it already. You said you were a little intimidated, which is like so funny to think that you're intimidated in any way. But did the nerves ever go away? Like, did they ever go away when you were playing regularly? And do you think they'll go away, like on the first tee or just once you hit that first tee shot?
I don't think the nerves ever go away. I think you play for the nerves, and it's really hard to control the nerves. I was always worried if I wasn't nervous. I always wanted that little doubt, or I think it made me concentrate a little bit better. It's really different now. It's like the I was never the best at anything. I was good at a lot of things, but I was a grinder, and I never gave up. I grinded, and I'm 65 now, and the grind is not there, but the passion for the game is. So I think it's going to be hard for me to focus for 18 holes straight, but I'm going to try to do it because
Fair
usually I'm
enough.
done in like 2.5 hours, and I've already had lunch and a cocktail.
Yeah. I was
So
gonna
yeah,
say
it's a
that's how
little
I like
different.
to play.
Yeah, I mean, I might have to grab a banana and an apple, and it's like, oh my God.
You're like,
Yeah.
who am
Yeah.
I that I've
Who am
changed?
I? Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what's your go-to cocktail then?
I'm a Tito's soda and a splash
Mm,
of grapefruit juice.
all right, I like it. I
hmm
like a
hmm
transfusion, so kind of
Oh yeah, yeah, same thing.
similar,
Yeah,
similar.
yeah. I think grapefruit juice has made a huge comeback.
It has.
Because whenever you're at a bar, you never used to see grapefruit juice, and now you see a lot of it.
Wow,
Just,
I'm
just
living for that.
FYI. Yeah.
Yeah. In case anyone was wondering, grape
Yeah.
juice is so back.
It's so back.
I
It's the
love
new
it.
juice of the 20,000s.
It's the new orange juice.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. Never thought we'd be talking about grape juice in this episode,
Yeah,
but I'm obsessed.
yeah, yeah.
You, I was gonna ask a question just about how you are a grinder because I think everyone knows that. Like, I feel like you would always be one of the last ones on the range, especially if there was something, like you wanted to work out. And I know I was watching a feature of you talking about the U.S. Women's Open when you and Annika were going head to head, your second U.S. Women's Open win, and you said you're always chasing Annika, and she just seems so steady, and you felt like you just got out of like a fight with Muhammad Ali. Like I just loved that quote. But like, how much do you think that changed your career, your ability to like put your head down and to be a grinder out there?
I mean, that's really the only way I knew how to play. I
Hmm.
mean, I was always the one that I looked like I went 12 rounds, and but I think that made me kind of who I am, and maybe really appreciate when things were going well, because my career has been pre kids, and then kids, and then after kids, and so I've been on all of the spectrums, and I've played really well, and then I've been down on the bottom and had to grind myself back up, and so I've never taken playing well for granted, because I know at any time it can turn quickly.
Hmm. Well, the LPGA is celebrating its 75th anniversary, which is incredible. That's so crazy to think about. There's been so many like eras of the LPGA that were so iconic. Did you realize when you were playing just how iconic everything going on was?
Not really, because we all played college golf. We all played
Mm,
college golf against each other, so it was just kind of going from junior golf to college golf to pro golf. So we all knew each other, all kind of intertwined. nowadays, hardly any of them go to college, and then they're all from different countries, and so you really don't see the intertwine of everybody out here. So it's definitely a different decade or couple decades, and but they're all amazing golfers.
Yeah. No, I mean, just this year we've had a different winner every single tournament. We have not had a
It's
single
crazy.
a
That's
single
crazy.
repeat winner. So yeah, that just shows how the depth is now.
Yes.
But you mentioned, being a mom out on tour, and I want to talk about that too because I feel like your daughters got to see quite a few of your wins. I mean, how special were those memories, and did any like come to mind that when you kind of reflect on your career of the ones that they got to see?
Yeah, I mean, Haley, started traveling with me at 6 weeks because, we didn't
Oh,
have daycare and we didn't have
yeah,
maternity leave. So you kind of had to get
that's
out there and,
crazy.
and get you going. And, it was hard. I mean, I was still trying to learn how to be a mom and playing golf and, breastfeeding. It's just
God,
like, oh, it's
that just
crazy.
sounds so stressful.
um, but I do have to think, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and now I'm traveling with my kids at 6 weeks. I really did think they were going to be psycho. I just thought that. I mean, they're sleeping in the closet in drawers, and
Right,
but I finally realized it took me a long time that as long as they're with you, they don't really know any different. They
totally.
didn't know little Susie has never been on a plane and never been out of her house. So, um, but it's been a great journey, and now I'm a grandma. So I've
Yeah,
got
that's
a
awesome.
10-month-old little boy named Jack and a 2-month-old little girl named Rowan. So it's
Oh.
the best. I get to see them all the time, and I get to leave when I want to leave, and
Mm-hmm. Give them back.
yeah, we're a really close family, and I think a lot of that had to do with us always being together, and especially the girls, and they're really close, and just seeing them as moms is so rewarding. It's really fun to watch them.
No, that's awesome. My sister has two little boys, so I'm an aunt, and my mom, my parents became grandparents, and it's just so crazy seeing them go on this new journey.
Yeah,
It's
it's
wild.
awesome. Everybody tells you how great it is, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I know, and if
So,
they start crying, I'm like, okay, you can
yeah,
have
yeah.
them
See ya. Bye. Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
go.
yeah. But it's I can't wait till they can start, walking and get a club in their hand and take
Hmm.
them out in the golf course, and it's gonna be really fun.
No, for sure. What kind of grandma do you think you are? Do you just give them like whatever you want? Like grandma's got you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be a fun grandma, but I'll be also one that I'll teach them, no, you can't run on the greens, or hey,
Of
you
course,
you
right.
you say thank you,
Hmm.
pick your mess up. I'll be one to teach them a lot of that too, but hopefully my kids will also.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So I actually spoke, I think this ties in nicely. I spoke with Angel Yin
Hmm.
yesterday because I know y'all are good friends. And
Hmm.
I was like, "What? Like, do you have any stories like I can ask Julie about, And you're like, "I'm scared."
Oh
But
no.
no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
funny. But she told me to ask you about a story with your daughters and the Heimlich.
Oh yeah.
Um, so if you could tell
So,
that story, I think it would be a good one for the
okay.
podcast.
So my husband was a director of golf at a golf course, and I
Mm,
would say Haley's probably 14 and Corey's 10. And
okay.
he comes home and he goes, "Oh my God," he goes, Mr. Jones was having sandwich and he started choking, and I had to give him the Heimlich.
Mm.
And I go, "Oh, is he okay?" "Yeah, he's okay." I go, "Girls, do you know what the Heimlich is?" And they go, "Yeah, yeah." They both went like this. Okay, I go, "Okay, that's the Heisman. It's not the Heimlich." I go, "That's a proud mommy moment, but you're not going to save anybody with the Heisman."
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh,
Uh,
whew, good
yeah.
thing they were
So
never put in
yeah,
the position to give
yeah, I
someone
hear you.
that.
Oh my God. Yeah. So it, it, it you know, it's just stuff like that just cracks me up. And
Oh,
they, to this day, whenever you say Heimlich, they all go into the Heisman. So it's kind
that's
of
so
funny.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm glad Angel got back with me. I was like, I
Yeah.
need a good story I could ask her about because I know y'all are really
Yeah.
close.
Yes.
Oh, Angel, she's a good one.
She's a
Um,
good one. I love seeing her playing well, and it's great. And
mhm.
she's beats her own drum, but
Oh
she's
yeah.
got a really good heart. And I wish people could see more of that.
Yeah, for sure. I know we had her on the podcast earlier this year and it was just laughing the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
the best. I love
Yeah.
Angel.
Yeah.
So I knew I could ask her about
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
see what she had to
Exactly.
say. Obviously, she's played on multiple Solheim Cup teams. You've played on multiple Solheim Cup teams.
Mhm.
I want to talk a little bit about that because Solheim is one of my favorite events. It's just so incredible. The energy is awesome. If you this is like a hard question because I think you were on 9 Solheim Cup teams.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh.
do you have like a favorite memory when you look back on your Solheim Cup career?
I think as a player, probably my favorite Solheim, and they're all great in a different way, but I think my favorite was probably 98 at Muirfield Village when Judy Rankin was a captain.
Yeah.
We stayed right on campus, and it was really the first time we ever played like a major venue, Jack's course, and he treated us so well. We stayed right there. We could hang together all night, roll out of bed and go to the range. And I got to play with different people. I played with Dottie, I played with Meg.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so a funny one was, so we're Muirfield Village, and Dottie and I are leading off in the alternate shot. So we're first out, and we've played in front of a lot of people, but never as many people as, I mean, they were lined all the way down the first fairway. And we're playing against Laura Davies and Trish Johnson. And Dottie's hitting the first tee ball, and she hits it out there. And then Laura gets up there and just pounds the ball. I mean, she's like 50 yards ahead of Dottie. You know how intense Dottie is. And, so I'm kind of the frick to her frack. And so I try to loosen her up a little bit. So I get to the ball and I go, geez, Dottie. I go, did you hit this thing with the head cover on or what? And she just yelled, just get the ball in the green and we'll win the hole. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So we got the ball in the green and
Oh,
we won the hole. And so she
that's
goes, I told you. So, but Muirfield Village was, Yippee was Judy's husband. Was a great guy. And, he was kind of the caddy master. And I don't know, it was just a really good vibe that week.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, Judy is my Texas gal. She's from the same town I am in
Oh,
Texas.
wow.
Yeah,
No
we're both
way.
from Midland,
But
so
yeah,
she's an
yeah,
icon
yeah,
everywhere, but especially
yeah.
in Midland, Texas.
Yeah, she's a good gal.
Well, just going back to this week, I know you said you're just trying to get some reps in and like just have a bit of fun. Honestly, I feel like,
Hmm.
what is the game plan? And, especially a week like this, what does your practice look like leading up to it?
Well, I've been practicing. I haven't been playing much. I've been practicing quite a bit, hitting balls and putting, but practicing and playing are two different things. Um, so I don't know. I just wanted to see where I'm at hitting the ball, and I know I'm going to be hitting first, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And just try to get my iron game going a little bit, my putting a little bit, and
Mhm.
just I mean, this is a really a kind of a good golf course for me because most of these girls are going to be hitting 3 woods and hybrids off the tee, and
Totally.
then so it's not long like a lot of these golf courses they play. So
Right.
I figure that would also help me a little bit.
Obviously, you're going to be around. We've talked a little bit already about the new faces and all of that. There's probably a lot of girls that you're like, I don't even know who you are. But
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of them that don't know who I am either. So yeah,
I don't know about that. I don't know
I'm
about
pretty
that.
sure about that. Yeah.
Is there any advice that you would give them? If you could give them any piece of advice, what do you think that might be?
I would say just enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
I was always, golf, it was kind of like, when I played bad, it kind of affected who I was, and I finally learned, I get maybe after I had kids and stuff, that, golf is what I do. It's not who I am. And, it took me a long time to just, enjoy what you do. And, so, I've always tried, I'm going to try to keep telling myself out there this week, okay, just enjoy it, just enjoy it, just enjoy
Yeah.
it.
You're gonna need to be reminding yourself as
Yeah,
well.
I know.
Um, and like kind of going back to being a mom and everything, I saw Sophia Popov made an Instagram post like she didn't have the week that she wanted at the AIG Women's Open, and she was just saying she's a new mom as well.
Yeah.
And so she was just saying I've had a hard time like juggling all of these things. I think it's so incredible that women can be so like multifaceted, but I mean,
It's hard.
yeah,
It's really hard.
how do you do that? That just seems so tough.
Well, it always bugs me when, the commentators on the men's goes, oh, Scotty Scheffler just had a kid and he's back next week. It's like,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
he didn't have the
Did
kid.
not have the
Okay.
kid.
Yeah. It's, I mean, the men's genes as being a parent and women's genes being a parent are really two different things.
Yeah,
I think the guys are great dads, but that first 6 or 8 months, I mean, it's on the mom, and to be the breadwinner and traveling with your kids and staying in different hotel rooms and trying to practice and trying to play and trying to be a mom and getting your kid at 5 in the morning to go to daycare and
for
then
sure.
playing all day, and then you're still in your clothes when you go to dinner, and you're still in your clothes before you put them to bed. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, and it takes a village. I mean, I was lucky. I had my parents. I had Brian's mom. I ended up hiring a nanny when Haley was 5 and Corey was 1, and she was with me for 13 years. And so we got a sense of consistency, and the kids were they knew if I was gone, Tina was going to be there. And if we were out, Tina was going to be there. But I also made sure that they went to daycare and they played with the kids, and I made sure that we did things on Monday and Tuesday outside of golf, and I think it definitely made me a better mom, and I think it made my kids better moms, because they both work, and they realize that in these days you both have to work, and they're okay with Jack and Rowan going to daycare and coming home, and it's the quality time, it's not the quantity.
yeah, for sure. I love that. I wanted to touch on that just because, gosh, I can't even imagine. I'm not a professional athlete, but if I ever have
Yeah,
kids, I would still
I
struggle doing
know.
it all. So,
It's really hard, and I mean, it was really hard for me, but I was also lucky that we didn't go to Asia for 5 weeks, and we
yeah,
didn't,
fair.
the farthest one is I went to the British Open, and it wasn't even the British Open. Canada was probably the farthest I ever went.
Right.
And then when they were older, yeah, I took them to the British and I took them to Evian and stuff like that, but they weren't babies, and I didn't have to leave them for 4 weeks. So it was definitely easier on me, emotionally.
Yeah, for sure. Um, okay, last question before we get to our sponsored question
Mm-hmm.
is you have 31 wins on tour. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think was the most special to you? I know you don't want to like pick, favorites, but there has to be one that kind of comes to mind.
Well, being an American winning your national championship,
Hmm.
I always wanted to win,
Yeah,
and it I was 39 when I won my first one.
that's
So
crazy.
I,
That's
I had a
awesome
lot of
though.
I had a lot of failures before that, and a lot of disappointments. But I think winning my first U.S. Open at Old Waverly in Jackson, Mississippi,
Hmm.
in 120 degrees was probably my favorite.
Yeah, fair enough. 120
Yeah,
degrees. Woo.
yeah. Well, it was hot. It was smoking hot.
Yeah, no thank you on that, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's awesome though. All right, so now we're going to wrap up with our sponsored question, because in golf, when bad shots happen, there is the Mulligan ball, and when fire, water, or other damage happens, there is Serve Pro. Serve Pro knows how to make it like it never even happened, and that's where my question comes into you. If you had a mulligan in golf or in life, where would you take it?
Let's see. I would take Mulligan in life. I mean, if now that I know everything turned out, I'm okay with it.
You're like, I'm fine. Actually, I don't need
fine.
one.
I might have taken that Mulligan, 30 years ago.
Right.
But I would say if I had a Mulligan, I would 1992 Women's U.S. Open, Oakmont. I would probably go over and check Patty Sheehan's lie on 18, see if it was really casual water. and I'm going to tell her that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because it was not casual water.
Right.
But she did make a hell of a shot.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. But that's a good one, though. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, Juli, thank you so much for doing this. Loved having you on, and excited to watch you tee it up again this week. And best of luck. I know you're going to crush it. You're going to do great. Oh, yeah. I'm excited to watch.
Thanks. All right. Thanks, Hope, for having me on.
Thanks so much. See ya.
Take care.